When Blueface strode out of prison house gates recently, he looked different. Bigger, heavier, his face fuller, his muscle within the frame of a man who's been locked up and remade. But that return is only chapter 3 of a story that began with viral fame, laced with gang ties, courtrooms, probation violations, and the weight of his own reputation. Tonight, we peel back the layers, how a meme rapper became a courtroom fixture, how the controversies stacked up, and what his release means for him and for the game. Before the courtroom lights and mugshots, before the memes and the chaos, there was Jonathan Jamal Porter, a kid from the heart of Los Angeles who just wanted to be heard. Born January 20th, 1997, Blueface grew up in the Crenshaw district, a place where talent and tension lived side by side. He was tall, athletic, a promising high school quarterback with a cannon arm and the swagger to match. But the structure of sports couldn't hold him for long. The streets moved faster. By 2019, Blueface was a household name, but not for stability. He became known as hip-hop's wild card. While his songs climbed charts, headlines followed for all the wrong reasons. He flaunted stacks of cash on social media, bragged about his Crip ties, and lived like rules didn't apply. The more people criticized him, the louder he got. But beneath the bravado, the legal trouble was already building. In 2018, he was arrested after allegedly shooting at a car that tried to rob him at a gas station. A year later, police stopped him with an unregistered handgun. The fame couldn't shield him from the law. If anything, it made him a bigger target. Still, the controversy only made him more viral. He'd jump online, mocking the press, brushing off critics, turning every headline into promotion. The fans laughed, the blogs fed it, and the machine kept spinning. But that energy, that constant chaos, was unsustainable. As his career grew, so did his problems. His relationships became public, messy, and often violent. He was juggling reality shows, scandals, and fights, literally. But the biggest battle wasn't with his rivals or girlfriends. It was with himself. The boy who once bragged about "respect my crippin" was now fighting to earn respect from the industry. Labels were hesitant, promoters nervous. Because behind the entertainment, there was always a sense that something darker was coming. And they were right. In October 2022, Blueface's life hit a breaking point. Surveillance cameras outside a Las Vegas strip club captured a confrontation that spiraled out of control. Blueface and his entourage got into an argument with another man. Moments later, shots rang out. The victim survived, but the incident changed everything. Blueface was arrested weeks later while eating at a restaurant in Las Vegas. A dramatic takedown caught on video. The charges: attempted murder with the use of a deadly weapon and discharging a firearm into an occupied structure. The man who once rapped about Thotiana was now facing decades behind bars. As details surfaced, Blueface pleaded guilty to firearm and battery charges in connection with the case. In 2023, he was sentenced to 3 years probation, a second chance that didn't last. Because in January 2024, he was arrested again, this time for violating that probation. The court had had enough. By August 2024, the sentence was final: 4 years in prison. Fans flooded social media with hashtag #FreeBlueface, but the system didn't care. The viral star had become inmate number AY4269. For the first time, the noise was gone. No cameras, no chaos, no spotlight. Just a young man alone with his decisions. And behind those walls, something began to change. Not just his mindset, but his body. Prison didn't just take Blueface's freedom. It stripped him of his armor. No jewelry, no entourage, no chaos to hide behind. Just 4 walls, a number, and silence. For an artist who lived through noise, silence was the hardest sentence of all. According to court records and Complex, Blueface was serving a 4-year term tied to his 2021 battery case and multiple probation violations. What fans didn't see was what prison did to him. By mid-2025, photos surfaced showing a man transformed. Heavier, bulked up, his face rounder, his posture harder. The playful rapper who once joked through interviews now looked like a man who had seen time. Rumors spread online. Was he working out religiously? Had the stress taken a toll? His mother posted cryptic updates about a stronger son, while his father called it a time of refining. king. Even locked up, Blueface couldn't escape attention. His new physique became a topic of memes and fascination. Behind the scenes, he reportedly kept busy. Letters from friends hinted at a new mindset: discipline, focus, and reflection. He stayed away from trouble, earned the respect of guards, and became known for quiet determination. Some say he even started writing again, verses about regret, loyalty, and freedom. But this wasn't redemption yet. Prison doesn't fix people, it reveals them. And what it revealed in Blueface was a man torn between two worlds, the one that made him famous and the one that almost destroyed him. November 3rd, 2025, the day fans had been waiting for. Blueface was free. He walked out of custody surrounded by family, cameras, and chaos, the same way he entered fame years ago. But this time, the tone was different. In the first photos after his release, he looked bigger, much bigger, shoulders wider, arms thicker, his face puffier from time and stress. The internet went wild. Memes flooded social media. Some joked he looked like a final boss version of himself. Others said prison turned him into a warrior. But behind the jokes was curiosity. What would Blueface do now? His first words were simple: Blueface home. That was it. No long speech, no press run, no apology tour, just presence. And that alone said everything. The rapper who once lived to provoke was now saying less than ever. And somehow, that made him louder. The internet compared his return to a rebirth. Complex noted that his release sparked a wave of reactions from both fans and critics, many stunned by his physical transformation. He looked hardened, but not broken. His eyes, sharp, calculating, suggested someone who'd seen his own limits and wasn't eager to test them again. But the real question wasn't how he came back. It was who he came back as. Because every rapper who's ever gone behind bars has two paths when they walk out: redemption or relapse. And for Blueface, the world was waiting to see which one he'd choose. Even with his release, the ghosts of his trial still followed. The Las Vegas shooting case wasn't just another rap headline. It was a turning point. It exposed the blurred line between persona and reality, between the image of a gangster and the man behind it. Court transcripts revealed a pattern: fame amplifying recklessness. What started as self-defense spiraled into provocation, and what started as internet clout turned into real-world consequence. The judge's words during sentencing echoed with finality: "You've been given chance after chance. At some point, the choices become who you are." That line stuck, because that's exactly what Blueface had been fighting against. He'd built a brand off confidence, invincibility, chaos, but the justice system had no use for personas. They punished people, not characters. Now, outside the walls, every step he takes is being watched. His probation terms are strict, his reputation fragile. One wrong move, and the cell door swings open again. Yet for the first time, Blueface seems aware of that weight. He's quieter, slower to post, more deliberate. The man who once laughed at his own controversies now looks like someone who's learning to carry them. And maybe that's the lesson prison gave him. Not redemption, not peace, but understanding. That fame is temporary, that fear fades, but consequences, they don't. The moment Blueface walked free, the internet did what it always does. It split in two. Half the crowd celebrated, the other half laughed. Fans who'd followed him since Thotiana cheered "Blueface home" across social media. They saw his release as a second chance, a comeback story waiting to happen. But others pointed out the irony that the same rapper who once mocked his critics was now the subject of their memes. He went in Blueface, came out buffus. One viral tweet said. His new, heavier appearance sparked debate. Some said he looked like he'd been training for revenge. Others thought the weight symbolized stress and time lost. But beneath the surface-level talk about his face and body was a deeper curiosity. What had prison done to his mind? In interviews before his arrest, Blueface had always seemed half-joking, detached from consequence, addicted to spectacle. But now, fans noticed something else: restraint. He wasn't rushing to post music, wasn't chasing clout. For a man who once thrived on attention, silence was shocking. Still, attention always finds him. Crenshaw Rock, his on and off partner and mother of his child, immediately became part of the conversation again, posting cryptic messages that reignited their long, messy public feud. Every move he made, every absence, every post became gossip fuel. Blueface wasn't just just adjusting to freedom. He was re-entering an ecosystem built to consume him. The question wasn't if he'd make a comeback. It was whether he could survive one. What happens when fame becomes your punishment? Blueface is about to find out. Since his release, he's made careful moves. Short social media appearances, no interviews, no new music yet. People close to him say he's focused on getting his mind right. That phrase, the most generic, overused in hip-hop, might finally mean something real this time. Industry insiders whisper that Blueface has songs written from his time inside. One track reportedly dives into betrayal, another into fatherhood, and one about the fat face memes that trended after his release. It's the kind of raw self-awareness fans never got from him before. If those songs exist, they could be the key to his comeback. Authenticity, not arrogance. But the temptation is still there. Every time his name trends, it's rarely for music. It's for controversy, conflict, or chaos. And that's the trap. Because controversy made Blueface famous, but it also almost killed his career. To move forward, he has to do the one thing he's never done: slow down. No brawls, no reckless posts, no public meltdowns, just focus. The muscle he built in prison won't save him from what comes next. Only discipline will. And yet, there's an electricity in the air, a feeling that this isn't the end of Blueface's story. It's the pause before a new chapter. The fans who stayed with him don't want perfection. They want honesty. And if Blueface can give them that, a version of himself that isn't hiding behind shock value, then his comeback might be more powerful than anyone expects. In the end, Blueface's story is more than rap. It's a mirror of what happens when fame and identity collide too young, too fast, and too recklessly. He was never the most lyrical, never the most polished, but he was magnetic, raw energy in a world obsessed with control. He made the world laugh, dance, argue, and roll its eyes. And for better or worse, that's what makes him unforgettable. His rise showed how quickly social media can crown a king. His fall showed how easily it can strip one bare. Now, his release offers something rare, a second chance most never get. Whether he uses it or wastes it will define his legacy. Because this isn't just about a rapper leaving prison, it's about a man walking back into a world that never stopped watching him. The transformation is physical, yes. Bigger arms, heavier frame, that new face the internet won't stop talking about. But the real transformation has to happen inside. If Blueface can turn the noise into meaning, if he can rap about the truth, not just the memes, he could redefine how fame and failure coexist. But if not, then history will repeat itself. Another young star swallowed by his own legend. Right now, Blueface stands at the crossroad every controversial artist eventually faces: growth or self-destruction. And for the first time, the man who made the world laugh isn't smiling.